Uncle Frank Davis, Pawnee. Too many chairs circle the rickety kitchen table, a table where everyone has a place, whether family, friends, or visiting strangers like ourselves. Over this oilcloth-covered Formica tabletop, with its comforting coffee stains, tales have been told, gossip has been passed, grief has been expressed, and above all, legends have been retold. Uncle Frank, as he's affectionately known, Fancy Warrior is his Indian name, takes his favorite seat and with a sweep of his hand gestures for us to sit down. He motions at the cold biscuits on the Lazy Susan.
Plenty for everyone. Coffee's brewing.
We've been told by several Pawnee that Uncle Frank is the preeminent local spiritual elder, a leader of the peyote ceremony, but he denies any special knowledge.
We don't have real medicine men anymore. It's one thing to be a medicine man to whites, and another thing to Indians. I'm not even a chief, and wouldn't want to be one.
He's reluctant to speak about the peyote ceremony.
And white people just don't understand it. There's nothing secret about peyote. It's just a sacred plant to help open the self up to receive certain vibrations. It should never be abused. The plant would be offended. It could even kill you.
He mentions he collects the peyote for his own ceremonies in Texas, and seems about to tell us more when he thinks better of it and waves a hand in the air, deflecting any further questions on the subject. His wife has recently died, and mementos to a long marriage fill every available space on the walls. The windows are still draped in mourning. The house has remained almost untouched since her passing. Her absence is palpable. The telephone book sits on the chair that was hers, as if to discourage any thought of sitting there. A fine dust has settled over things, but it can't cover the emptiness she's left. Yet he smiles, genuinely happy to spin a yarn for a while, instead of sitting by himself indulging sad memories.
So you've come about wisdom. Well, I'll tell you a story. Remember, it's just a story, though. My mother was a good woman. I thought she was the wisest person in the whole world. So one day, when I was just a little feller, maybe 7 or 6, I asked her how I could become wise like her. She just laughed and laughed, and said I was awfully young to be asking such questions. But she said, since I had asked, she would tell me. Life is like a path, she said, smiling down at me, and we all have to walk the path. If we lay down, we even lay down on that path. If we live through the night, we have to get up and start walking down that path again. As we walk down that path, we'll find experiences like little scraps of paper in front of us along the way. We must pick up those pieces of scrap paper and put them in our pockets. And every single scrap of paper we come to should be put in that pocket. Then one day, we will have enough scraps of paper to put together and see what they say. Maybe we'll have enough to make some sense. Read the information and take it to heart. Then put the pieces back in that pocket and go on, because there will be more pieces to pick up. Later we can pull them out and study them, and maybe learn a little more. If we do this all through life, we will know when to pull out those scraps to read more of the message. The more we read, the more we'll learn the meaning of life. We can become wise, or at least wiser than we were.
Uncle Frank seems to be looking at his mother as he speaks, as if listening to her say those words spoken so long ago.
She said, but if we never pick up those scraps of paper and never read them, we'll never become wiser. We'll keep on wondering about life and never learn the Creator's instructions. Remember one thing, she said with her finger pointed straight at me. Even if we pick up all those scraps, we'll still be learning. Nobody ever learns all the answers.
He leans forward in his chair.
I've always tried to pick up the scraps of paper, like my mother said.
He smiles, almost chortling.
Missed a few, though. After that, some things just never made sense. Still try to figure out what was on those missing scraps.
Now he leans back. The smile fades. tears brim in his eyes.
Last night I saw my wife. She came in my sleep. I know it was her. She called my name. She was standing on the other side of a wide road. She said she wanted to be with me, but she couldn't get across the road. She said I'd have to be the one to cross the road if I wanted to be with her. She put out her hand. She's calling me.
In the dim room, his face is barely a silhouette against the draped window. A tear on his cheek catches a glint of light.
I miss her so, and I think I'll be going over soon.
Leon Shenandoah, Six Nations Iroquois Confederacy. He bears an ancient title, Tadadaho, presiding moderator or Speaker of the House of the 50 co-equal peace chiefs comprising the Grand Council of the Six Nations Iroquois Confederacy in Upper New York State. The still-living confederacy, composed originally of the Mohawk, the Seneca, the Onondaga, the Oneida, the Cayuga, and later the Tuscarora, was founded about 1000 A.D. by a prophet called the Peacemaker, who brought a great law of peace to the then warring Iroquois peoples. Only one obstacle stood in the way of a peaceful union: the original Tadadaho, a ferocious snake-haired Onondaga wizard who, after bitter resistance, was finally persuaded to join the Confederacy by the Peacemaker and his lieutenant Iawentha, or Hiawatha, an Iroquois title erroneously applied to an Ojibwe culture hero in Longfellow's Song of Hiawatha. To appease the original Tadadaho and bring him into the fold, the Peacemaker made Onondaga the Confederacy's capital and named the 14 chiefs of the Onondaga as keepers of the central fire, a fire that burns to this day in the Onondaga Longhouse. Today, more than 200 Tadadahos later, the venerable title and office have devolved upon Leon Shenandoah, formerly sub-chief or faith-keeper of the Eel clan of the Onondaga Nation.
I no longer serve a clan. The Tadadaho must give up his clan interests and serve all the people of the Confederacy.
In 1971, shortly after becoming Tadadaho, he won national notice when he confronted New York State highway crews trying to add a lane to Interstate 81, where it slices through the Onondaga Nation's territory. Some call it a reservation just south of Syracuse. Drawing a symbolic line with his ceremonial condolence cane across the road leading into Onondaga, Chief Shenandoah announced,
"The United States stops here."
He then led a 2-month sit-down on the construction site in a tense face-off against heavily armed state police. Negotiation finally won the day. The highway was widened, but only by a few feet, and a bloody showdown was narrowly averted. Ironically, the same state troopers involved at Onondaga were then dispatched to put down the infamous riot at Attica State Prison, where dozens of prisoners died in a hail of gunfire.
Those bullets were meant for us. The prisoners at Attica took the killing instead of us. That's the way it was with the buffalo, too. They took the killing instead of the Indian people. They died and we lived. If we had taken all the killing, we wouldn't be here today.
He sits at the dining room table in his cozy frame house, smoking a well-scuffed pipe. His smiling wife, Thelma, brings coffee to the two visitors. The sound of children's laughter, they have more than a dozen grandchildren, several of whom live here, echoes through the house. Alternately joking and falling into deep discussion, we broach the subject of confrontation, violent versus peaceful. What is the greatest power, we ask. Chief Shenandoah pauses, wrapped in meditation, his eyes momentarily closed. Finally he speaks.
I myself have no power. It's the people behind me who have the power. Real power comes only from the Creator. It's in His hands. But if you're asking about strength, not power, then I can say that the greatest strength is gentleness. Our religion is all about thanking the Creator. That's what we do when we pray. We don't ask Him for things, we thank Him. We thank Him for the world and every animal and plant in it. We thank Him for everything that exists. We don't take it for granted that a tree is just there. We thank the Creator for that tree. If we don't thank Him, maybe the Creator will take that tree away. That's what our ceremonies are about. That's why they're important, even for you, the white man. We pray for the harmony of the whole world. We believe if we didn't do our ceremonies in the Longhouse, the world would come to an end. It's our ceremonies that hold the world together. Some people may not believe that. They may laugh at it, but it's true. The Creator wants to be thanked. When we go in the Longhouse and thank Him for His creation, He kneels down and listens to us. He puts His ear to the Longhouse window. He hears His own children, so He holds off destroying the world for a while longer. If you white men had never come here, this country would still be like it was. It would all be pure here. You call it wild, but it wasn't really wild. It was free. Animals aren't wild. They're just free. And that's the way we were. You called us wild. You called us savages. But we were just free. If we were savages, Columbus would never have gotten off this island alive. It's prophesied in our instructions that the end of the world will be near when the trees start dying from the tops down. That's what the maples are doing today. Our instructions say the time will come when there will be no corn, when nothing will grow in the garden, when the water will be filthy and unfit to drink. And then a great monster will rise up from the water and destroy mankind. One of the names of that monster is the sickness that eats you up inside, like diabetes or cancer or AIDS. Maybe AIDS is the monster. It's coming. It's already here. Our prophet Handsome Lake told of it in the 1700s. He saw 4 beings, like 4 angels, coming from the 4 directions. They told him what would happen, how there would be diseases we'd never heard of before. You will see many tears in this country. Then a great wind will come, a wind that will make a hurricane seem like a whisper. It will cleanse the earth and return it to its original state. That will be the punishment for what we've done to the creation. We are made from Mother Earth and we go back to Mother Earth. We can't own Mother Earth. We're just visiting here. We're the Creator's guests. He's invited us to stay for a while, and now look what we've done to His creation. We've poisoned it. We've made a wreck of it. He's bound to be mad, and He is. I'm working for the creation. I refuse to take part in its destruction. White man took the stars from us. Yeah, that's right. He stole the stars. Before white man came, we lived by the stars. The stars told us when to go hunting, when to go fishing. We had a name for every star. Then you came and gave us calendars and clocks and schedules, and we forgot the stars. We don't need them anymore. Now we just follow the moon and the sun for our ceremonies and planting. We know only a little about where the stars are going to be or what they mean. It's all been lost. You guys took it from us. But where does it tell about that theft in your history books? You don't even know you stole it. Everything is laid out for you. Your path is straight ahead of you. Sometimes it's invisible, but it's there. You may not know where it's going, but still you have to follow that path. It's the path to the Creator. That's the only path there is.
Address to the General Assembly of the United Nations.
Brothers, listen to the words of the Creator given to the first United Nations, the Haudenosaunee, over 1,000 years ago. The chiefs of the Haudenosaunee shall be mentors of the people for all time. The thickness of their skin shall be 7 spans, which is to say that they shall be proof against anger, offensive action, and criticism. Their hearts shall be full of peace and goodwill, and their minds filled with a yearning for the welfare of the people. With endless patience they shall carry out their duty. Their firmness shall be tempered with a tenderness for their people. Neither anger nor fury shall find lodging in their minds, and all their words and actions shall be marked by calm deliberation. In every nation there are wise and good men. These should be appointed chiefs. They should be the advisors of their people and work for the good of all people. and all their power comes from the great peace. A chief must never forget the Creator of mankind, never forget to ask Him for help. The Creator will guide our thoughts and strengthen us as we work to be faithful to our sacred trust and restore harmony among all peoples, all living creatures, and Mother Earth. We were instructed to carry love for one another, to show a great respect for all beings of this earth. In our ways, spiritual consciousness is the highest form of politics. When people cease to respect and express gratitude for these many things, then all life will be destroyed. The human life on this planet will come to an end. These are our times and our responsibilities. Every human being has a sacred duty to protect the welfare of our Mother Earth, from whom all life comes. In order to do this, we must recognize the enemy, the one within us. We must begin with ourselves. We must live in harmony with the natural world and recognize that excessive exploitation can only lead to our own destruction. We cannot trade the welfare of our future generations for profit now. We must abide by the natural law or be victims of its ultimate reality. We must stand together, the four sacred colors of man, as the one family that we are in the interest of peace. We must abolish nuclear and conventional weapons of war. When warriors are leaders, you will have war. We must raise leaders of peace. We must unite the religions of the world as the spiritual force strong enough to prevail in peace. It is no longer good enough to cry peace. We must act peace, live peace, and march in peace in alliance with the people of the world. We are the spiritual energy that is thousands of times stronger than nuclear energy. Our energy is the combined will of all people with the spirit of the natural world, to be of one body, one heart, and one mind for peace. We propose as a resolution for peace that October 24th be designated as a day of peace and a worldwide ceasefire take place in honor of our children and the seventh generation to come. Deneto.
Diwa Senta, an Onondaga clan mother for over 30 years, is the sister of Tadadaho Leon Shenandoah.
When the chief of a clan falls, we say fall instead of die. That clan's clan mother and her family select a new chief. We don't vote. There has to be a consensus. Several names are usually brought up and we discuss each name. One name will rise and there will be a consensus. The man who is to be chief must have certain qualifications. He must be a man who is honest. He must have hoyana, or the good mind, as we say. He must have great concern and do the right thing by his people. He must not be a womanizer. The clan mother can remove a chief. If he is guilty of forcing a woman, we don't say rape, or of stealing or of taking a life. The chief is deposed instantly, even without being forewarned. If the chief shows signs of losing hoyana, the good mind, the clan mother talks to him. She must give him 3 warnings. Then she, with the consent of the clan, can remove him. If she herself strays from the right path, the clan can remove her also. The role of Iroquois woman remains today as it has always been. Some of our women have become Christian and see no value in the circle of the longhouse. To be a clan mother, however, the woman must be within the longhouse. Without her, the circle would be broken.
Irving Powless, Sr., Onondaga. This is the famous Thanksgiving speech spoken before important gatherings of the Six Nations Iroquois Confederacy. Each speaker gives it extempore. This version was delivered to an audience attending the 200th anniversary of the Treaty of Fort Stanwix in Rome, New York, in October 1984. Chief Powless, who has since passed on to the Creator, delivered it in the Onondaga language, and it is here rendered into English by his son, Chief Irving Powless, Jr.
I want to greet you and ask that we put our minds together as one and thank the Creator that we who have gathered here are all well. It is my duty to give thanks. The Creator has planned it this way, that every time we meet, whether day or night, no matter how many or how few we are, we give thanks to Him for what He has given us. The Creator created the earth, our Mother Earth, and gave her many duties, among them the duty to care for us, His people. He put things upon Mother Earth for the benefit of all. And as we travel around today, we see that our Mother Earth is still doing her duty, and for that we are grateful. So let us put our minds together as one and give thanks. And let it be that way. The Creator planted grasses and weeds upon Mother Earth. The grasses and weeds all have a name. Some of them are medicines. And as we pass through this year, we see that the grasses and weeds are still growing. So we are grateful they are still here and doing their duties. Therefore, let us put our minds together as one and give thanks for the grasses, the weeds, and the medicines. And let it be that way. The Creator also put trees and bushes upon Mother Earth for the benefit of all. Among the trees is the maple. From the maple tree we gather sap, from which we make sugar and syrup. And as we pass through this year, we see that the trees and the bushes are still there, doing their duties. So let us put our minds together as one and be grateful that the trees and bushes are still there. And let it be that way. The Creator put upon Mother Earth berries and plants for us to eat. All we have to do is pick them. The strawberries are the first to ripen each year. If we take the strawberry juice and drink it, it shall be a medicine for us. And as we pass through this year, we see that the berries and plants are still doing their duties for the benefit of all. So let us all put our minds together as one and give thanks to the berries and plants for doing their duties. And let it be that way. The Creator put animals on the earth. Animals give us food. They give us clothing. They even supply us with wampum for use in our ceremonies. The animals also have a leader. He is called a deer. And as we look about and see that the animals are still here doing their duties, we are grateful and we give thanks. In our appreciation, we put our minds together as one, and let it be that way. The Creator has also put upon earth the birds. He gave us small birds and large birds. The birds also have a duty. Their leader is the eagle. His duty is to fly high and watch over us. And the smaller birds have the duty to sing to us and also provide us with food. And as we look around us, let us give thanks to the birds, for they are still here doing their duties. They never tire and say, "I'm not going to do my duty anymore." And for that we are grateful. Let us put our minds together as one and thank the birds, and let it be that way. The Creator gives us life-giving foods. All we have to do is plant seeds into Mother Earth, and she will make them grow. This summer we've done this again, and the plants grew. And for this we are grateful. So let us put our minds together as one and give thanks to the foods that nourish us. And let our minds be that way. The Creator gave us the wind. He makes sure that it usually comes as a breeze, but every now and then He lets it come as a hurricane. That's to remind the people that they do not control the earth. And as we see, the wind is still doing its duty. And for this we are grateful. So let us put our minds together and give thanks to the wind. And let our minds be that way. The Creator, after He created all these things, said, there needs to be more. So He created the thunderers, our grandfathers. It shall be their duty to moisten and freshen the springs to replenish the fresh water that we drink. Last night I heard their thundering voices again. So we see that the thunderers are still doing their duties. And for this we are very grateful. Let us put all our minds together as one and give thanks to the thundering voices, and let our minds be that way. The Creator gave us the sun, our elder brother. It is His duty to give us warmth and to nourish the life-giving foods that are planted on earth. And as we see, the sun came up this morning and shines on us, keeping us warm. He's doing His duty, and for this we are very grateful. So let us all put our minds together as one and thank the sun for still performing his duty. Let our minds be that way. The Creator said we will have daylight and we will have darkness. The darkness will be time for sleep and rest. But you will also have a night sun, which you will call the moon. The moon will be your grandmother, and she will have special duties also. She will give moisture to dampen the land at night. She will also move the tides. Along with the moon, there will be stars. The stars help give us directions when we travel, and along with Grandmother Moon, tell us when we should begin our ceremonies. The moon and the stars were put there for these purposes, and we see last night that the moon and the stars are still here doing their duties, and for this we are very grateful. So in our appreciation, let us all put our minds together as one and give thanks to the stars and the moon, and let our minds be that way. As the Creator looked over what he had created, he saw that many things could hurt our people, that many obstacles stood in our way. So he sent us 4 protectors, 4 beings like angels who watch over us and help us when we need it. Often it happens that we find ourselves in dangerous situations. Then somehow we get out of it, and it was only a close call. That's because the 4 protectors are still watching over us, helping us. And for that we are very grateful. So we put our minds together as one and thank the 4 protectors for doing their duty, and let our minds be that way. 2 centuries ago, the Creator saw that we were wandering from our ways because of the changes the white man had brought. So he sent us a message through a chief named Handsome Lake. His duty was to lead us back onto the Creator's path. Today's message to us is still heard in our longhouse. We remember every word, and we are very grateful for that. So let us all put our minds together as one and thank Handsome Lake for doing his duty, and let our minds be that way. When the Creator created us, he used a part of his heart in each one of us, and he wants his heart to return to him. So each day and each night, he sends down his love to us, and he asks that we carry out the duties that we are directed to perform. And for this, we are very grateful. So let us put our minds together as one and try to be the people that he wants us to be, and let it be that way.
Lewis Farmer, Onondaga. It took us quite a while to get to know Onondaga Chief Lewis Farmer. We saw him frequently around the Longhouse and at social gatherings for several years. He would sit somewhere by himself, seemingly scowling whenever we glanced his way. But we noticed people were always coming over to him, chatting, laughing, whispering. He was obviously well beloved. His scowls were purely for outsiders, as if to say, "Don't bother me. I've got enough to do taking care of my own people." Then one day in May 1986, our friend Maisie Shenandoah, a clan mother at the 32-acre Oneida Territory, called us and asked if we could drive one of the chiefs out from Onondaga, 35 miles away, so he could bless the site of their new longhouse, as well as the planting of the 3 sisters, corn, beans, and squash, which are the traditional staples of Iroquois diet. The chief was Lewis Farmer. It was the opportunity we had been looking for. We picked Lewis up at his centuries-old log cabin and drove him out to Oneida Territory, where we spent a wonderful day with him and Maisie. Of the many things this wisdom keeper told us, we especially remember these.
We chiefs are the keeper of the central fire, but it's just not a fire of logs and flames. It's the fire in here, and also the fire in here. A good heart and a good mind, those are what you need to be a chief. Who needs a telephone This is my communication, better than any telephone. Telephones carry your voice around the earth, not up to the Creator. You don't need a telephone to talk to the Creator. When we want to talk to Him, we burn tobacco and it takes our prayers all the way up to the sky world. What telephone can do that? White man celebrates something that happened 2,000 years ago. To him, nothing's happened since then. It's all over. All he can do is remember. Indians celebrate what's happening now. When the sacred strawberries come up in early spring, that's when we celebrate. They're not just strawberries to us. They're the Creator's gift to His children. They're good to eat, good to drink. But more than that, they have the Creator's power in them. They make us healthy and strong. And we know when we pass on that our path to the sky world will be lined with strawberries. So strawberries are more than just plants to us. That's why every year we have our Strawberry Thanksgiving. It's something that's happening now to us, not something that happened long ago to somebody else. In late spring we plant the corn and beans and squash. They're not just plants. We call them the three sisters. We plant them together, 3 kinds of seeds in one hole. They want to be together with each other, just as we Indians want to be together with each other. So long as the 3 sisters are with us, we know we will never starve. The Creator sends them to us each year. We celebrate them now. We thank Him for the gift He gives us today and every day. He didn't stop giving us His gifts 2,000 years ago. When someone, an Indian, gets caught between the Longhouse religion and Christianity, or they don't follow either one or the other, we say they're running in the woods. They don't have a home either here or there, either in Indian's world or white man's world. They don't pay attention to the Creator, so they've got to keep running, even though they've got nowhere to go. That's a terrible thing. You want to know who's a real medicine man? He's the one who doesn't say, "I'm a medicine man." He doesn't ask you to come to Him. You've got to go to Him and ask Him, and you'll find He's always there among His own people. He doesn't go off to the city and open an office. Once a medicine man leaves his own territory, he loses most of his power. All the sacred plants he knows are where he comes from. He doesn't know the plants of other places. The Creator gave him his gift so he could serve his own people, not somebody else. The people he's supposed to help are people where he's from, so he stays home and helps them. That's who a real medicine man is.
Unto the 7th generation. Our journey into Native America began with a heavy burden of misconceptions and stereotypes, gleaned from history books, movie westerns, and popular myths ingrained in the psyche from an earlier manifest destiny mentality. What we thought we were going out to discover turned out to be far different from what we found. We uncovered no secrets, no soul-bewitching gurus, no miraculous healers, no hitherto unknown sacred ceremonies. Life itself, we learned, is a sacred ceremony. From the wisdom keepers we learned a different way of thinking, which profoundly affected our views about the earth, about sovereignty, about family and community, and about the future. The future, we learned, was not some abstract, untouchable beyond, far out there somewhere, beyond our ken. Rather, the wisdom keepers taught us, the future is with us here today, in the now and here. It's coming up, in fact, right behind us. Over and over we were told, turn around and look. There they are, the 7th generation. They're coming up right behind you.
Look over your shoulder.
Tadadaho Leon Shenandoah told us.
Look behind you. See your sons and your daughters. They are your future. Look farther and see your sons and your daughters' children and their children's children, even onto the 7th generation. That's the way we were taught. Think about it. You yourself are a 7th generation.
This immediate and compassionate approach to the future was a revelation to us, moving us from a mental position to which we can never return. We came to realize that we ourselves, in all of our decisions, individually and collectively, are responsible for and to the generations whose faces are coming from beneath the ground. They will soon be walking the same earthly path we walk today, and we must ensure that there is a path to walk. We hope that we'll leave a better path than the one left to us. Contrary to the popular notion that the traditional circle is dying away, we saw emerging wisdom keepers in action. Spiritual elder Lila Fisher of the Ho died in 1986. During a recent kitchen table conversation that lasted into the wee hours of the morning and took us through many cups of strong black coffee, Lila's daughter, Mary Leitka, spoke of her mother.
Mom always told me I'd have to prepare myself, and she said she would help me. But when she died, it seemed like she'd never really gotten around to properly instructing me. She knew so much, and I know so little. Yet I'm hearing her words over and over in my thoughts. She said, "There are two ways to go, the way of the blackface, a society within our culture, or another way that is more personal, like going and bathing in the river every morning, sitting and meditating at a special place. Merge into nature," she would say, "merge into the spirit of the river, of the eagle, of the salmon. This way would lead me to my power, or help, as we say."
During the funeral and the burning of all of Lila Fisher's personal belongings, as is the custom of the Ho, so that there is nothing to hold the one who has passed away to this world, Mary was told by the few remaining family elders that she was the one to sing her mother's song during the proceedings. Mary adds,
"It was my grandfather's song, and he passed it to my mother. Pansy Hudson, an elder, told me that I was to have the family song after Mom died. Now everyone looks to me. I don't know why, and it's very hard on me. They don't know where to turn, so they come to me like I'm supposed to know what to do. I have 7 children, and all their friends come here. Everyone is calling me Auntie. They're welcome, but it's so hard. I'm at a crossroads. I see what's happening, and I wish so much that Mom was here."
Before passing, Lila told Mary, "Take care of my grandchildren, all of them. Today Mary is teaching the youth the ancient songs and dances, passing along the stories of the Ho, which she learned in her own childhood. She says,
Maybe it boils down to my accepting the idea that Mom really gave me something and did prepare me all along through my life without my knowing what she was doing."
One bright June day, an entire Oneida clan climbed a hill near their community in upstate New York. There was the elder leading the way, and behind him were his children, nieces and nephews, followed by grandchildren and grandnieces and grandnephews, generation by generation, down to the infants in traditional baby boards. Atop the hill, they posed for a photograph by making circle, a traditional activity in which family members honor the elder by recognizing his or her central position in the family. Throughout our travels in search of the wisdom keepers, we kept seeing aspects of that same sacred circle or sacred hoop, one of the fundamental symbols of Native American culture. There's the cycle or circle of the seasons, the circle of the ceremonies, the family circle, the circle of the community, the circle of elders, the cycle of the generations, and the circle of all life, of which humankind is only one aspect. All things one. Yes, we are changed.
Every part of this country is sacred to my people. The very dust responds more lovingly to our footsteps than to yours, because it is the ashes of our ancestors. There was a time when our people covered the land as the waves of the wind-ruffled sea cover its shelled paved floor. But that time long since passed away with the greatness of tribes that are now but a mournful memory. And when the last red man shall have perished from this earth, and the memory of my tribe shall have become a myth among the white men, these shores will swarm with the invisible dead of my tribe. And when your children's children think themselves alone in the field, the store, the shop, upon the highway, or in the silence of the pathless woods, they will not be alone. At night, when the streets of your cities and villages are silent, and you think them deserted, they will throng with a returning host that once filled and still love this beautiful land. The white man will never be alone. Let him be just and deal kindly with my people, for the dead are not powerless. Dead, did I say? There is no death, only a change of worlds.